I need a lot of people to understand and realize something, okay? I understand if you came from the Goldberg era and the Brock Lesnar era. I get that. I was there with you too. But please do not mistake Braun Breaker for being an equivalent of Goldberg or Brock Lesnar, okay? Because when the common knock on both of them were that they couldn't technically wrestle, which is why all their matches typically lasted under 5 minutes. If you're not familiar with Braun Breaker in NXT, you need to go familiarize yourself with that man, okay? That man can go bell to bell. Ask Carmelo Hayes. Ask Dragunov.
Yeah, we are gonna get the hybrid version of Goldberg and Brock Lesnar
Combined.
Yeah.
Like,
what's going on, everybody? This is the WrestleHolics Roll-Up, where we, myself, Wanye Picante, and my main man, Mr. Ramon, we actually get together and we cover some of the big topics that's been going on this week in wrestling. So, Mr. Ramon, thank you for being here with me today, live in studio. I'd just like to say, shameless plug, I'd like to invite everybody to go over to our WrestleHolics ENT page. There is some new content that has dropped this week. There's a video of Mr. Ramon himself. And there's also another video of me, Wanye Picante. Really? That's what we're gonna do?
Hey, I'm sorry. I felt like Jey Uso in SummerSlam. My bad.
That's fine. I'm glad you feel like that. I'm glad that you're yeeted up, as one would say.
Come on, Pat McAfee. We yeeting all through.
That's right. But yes, if you're tuning in now, we would ask that you like and share so that way we can get this live stream out to everyone and all of the WrestleHolics across the world. So, not going to take too much of your time, but we're going to get right into our show. First topic I want to talk about today is the Bloodline drama. What are we doing?
Okay, so apparently this past Friday on SmackDown, we saw, we already know that Tammy Tongue is the new MFT, which hopefully we find out what that means tomorrow, because I still don't know what MFT means. But we saw the situation on Friday with Kevin, Bloodline. I have no idea what we're doing. I'm, for one, as a Kevin Owens supporter, I do not like the fact that I feel like we're sacrificing him again. Because what is the payoff of this?
So honestly, I like it, but I don't at the same time. So the reason why that I like it is because sacrificing Kevin Owens now, it fits perfectly. Because if Tammy Tonga is supposed to be as tough as he is presented to be, if he's supposed to have this illustrious career from indie wrestling and, some of his other wrestling promotions that he was a part of, WWE and on SmackDown, because he debuted there, it had to be Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens is the toughest wrestler that we have on SmackDown. Okay, so it had to be Kevin. It had to be Kevin. The reason, and again, yes, it had to be Kevin, but also, it's not just gonna be Kevin. Kevin is just the first one of many. It's gonna be to the point where Adam Pearce is gonna be like, I'm sorry,
Nick Aldis,
because if you saw it, he said, hey, I'm not gonna have this on my show.
Yeah, because losing, there's more things that have consequences besides losing. Yeah, I saw that.
So if they're gonna do that, they have to be so disruptive that they can't be there. As you know, Raw is going to Netflix. So what better way to boost up the ratings and boost up the people getting into watching Raw on Netflix than having a huge push for the Bloodline, a whole lot of extra drama, a whole lot of questions that we don't have answers to.
Okay, so all right, if that's the case, you don't got that much time to beat people up per se. The draft starts tomorrow, essentially. So it's going to be a situation where they're going to get drafted and then they're going to continue with this thing over to Raw, or it's going to be a situation where they remain drafted to SmackDown or whatever, and then they end up getting traded to Raw.
It just depends on how big they want to make this. Because I don't know if you know this or not, but yes, the draft starts tomorrow, but there's only a certain pool of people that can be drafted on Friday.
Yeah, I think tomorrow night's draft picks are only those who are currently on the Raw roster, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, because SmackDown starts
it would make sense if it's that way. I think it's the Raw roster, and I think it's a few people sprinkling in from NXT. I think they actually did draft pools. Like, they're really capitalizing off the NFL draft this year. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, which is a genius marketing pool.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, why not follow the plan of success? But yeah, I do. Going back to what you said, I do believe that it's going to start. Obviously, we're going to have some questions that we don't really get answers to, and there are going to be some things that happen that are going to be more or less impactful things that are just out of the norm.
Okay.
So I think with them going with that, mystic persona or mystic thing, or however you want to break it down, they're just building it up. But I'm happy. I'm excited to see what they do. But I do believe that it's gonna end up with the Bloodline on Raw.
I mean, that should be the ultimate goal, is to have the Bloodline on Raw.
Well, yeah, because
they're gonna need more time. You alluded to that in the conversation that we were having earlier, that they're going to need more time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
especially if The Rock is gonna come back and cut 30-minute promos. I mean,
just because of that, the Bloodline does not need to go to Raw. Okay, because now we're gonna have to extend Raw a whole another hour just for The Rock's promos.
Come on, man, it ain't gonna be that bad.
bad.
It's not gonna be that bad.
Yo, that commercial-free edition of Netflix about to make bank.
Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna be one.
I ain't signed up for it though. What's next?
So the next thing that we have to get into is Swerve Strickland winning the AEW championship.
Boy, Black History Month gonna be lit.
Sir,
okay. Matter of fact, okay, let it be known, all right, that April 2024 is the official Black History Month of professional wrestling.
Absolutely.
All right, sir, Black champions all through the bit.
No, seriously,
like for real. Okay, you got Swerve, you got Trick Williams.
You
got Willow Nightingale.
Yep. You have Moose in TNA.
Yeah, like this has been an historic month for Black champions or for wrestling promotions putting over. And what's crazy is that if everything wasn't so organic with every promotion, you would swear it felt synchronized.
Oh yeah. Well, even from that aspect, I think that all of the wrestling promotions are starting to see, let me see how I can spin this to make this look like I'm doing something different, but I'm following in with the culture. Because you and I both know. Think about it.
Okay.
What better way to essentially get an additional push, an additional social media impression?
Trending.
Exactly. So, if you've got, first of all, let's back it up a little bit further.
Okay.
Cody won, finishing his story. I'm not falling into the trap of everybody saying that Cody technically is an African American champion. What I'm saying is Cody was the first domino.
Okay. The first feel good moment.
Exactly.
All right.
So with Cody finishing his story, then you roll into the big push that Swerve got. So Swerve wins the championship. Then you have another organic moment from AEW with Willow Nightingale, because I don't know if you remember this or not. What was it? I think it was about a year and a half, maybe, when Willow first debuted on AEW. She had a couple matches with Jade Cargill at the time. She didn't win, but she showed a lot of flashes. And then from there, she started actually broadening her actual wrestling resume. Then she went down to TNA. Then she went to New Japan. She won a title in New Japan.
Didn't Willow come from WOW, Women of Wrestling?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
So because of her pedigree and her, like you said, it being honestly, it just being organic. It just fit. So what better way than to have essentially a babyface female wrestler who's very talented, who came up through the ranks, who, you know, wrestled in multiple promotions to actually build up her own cachet and resume to really actually finish her story, to claim her first championship.
Yeah.
Even with Moose. Moose is a tenured veteran as it pertains to TNA.
Oh, absolutely. He's even came out on record and said that he's probably never going to WWE.
Absolutely.
And at this point, there's absolutely no reason to.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. Moose is essentially the TNA what Sting was to WCW. Like, no. I'm talking about from like a longevity standpoint, a legendary standpoint, like a what's the word I'm looking for here? Dependability standpoint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Sting was a career WCW guy. He never stepped foot inside WWE until the absolute very end. Like, literally. If WCW was still around, he would still be there.
Yeah.
You know, he's a diehard loyalist to the company.
I can get that. Another, I would say, bright spot for the African American culture is Mercedes Moné. Oh my God. You know what? I'm not even going to take this topic.
Why is she a bright spot? Please tell me why she's a bright spot.
She's a bright spot because of her career. She's a bright spot because of her contributions to the wrestling world as a whole. She has had some very good matches. She has put on...
With who?
She put on very good matches.
With who?
I'm going to tell you if you let me tell you. Can I tell you?
Go ahead.
Can I tell you?
Go ahead.
Okay. She has some very good matches with Bianca Belair.
Oh, go.
She had a great match with Charlotte.
Oh, go.
She had a great match with Bayley.
Oh, go.
Well, I mean, she technically won tag team champions with Bayley.
See, let me tell you something. Anytime you put a puppy in the ring with a dog, it's always going to look like it's worth something. Okay?
Whoa! No. Expound, because...
Okay, so I don't understand why we still calling her Sasha Banks and Mercedes Moné when, in truth be told, her name should be Mercedes Monopoly. Okay? Because like Monopoly money, she has no real value. Okay? I have yet to see her do anything to really stand on her own. If you really go back and look at her career in WWE after NXT, because I would give you props, I would give her props. NXT Sasha Banks, outstanding. I don't know what happened when she got to the main roster. I have no idea, but there was a switch. Right? Go back and look at all her historic matches. Look who she's in the ring with. She's in the ring with other historic legends in their own making. Not only that, she's in the ring with other women wrestlers that honestly I would say carried her. The same way that Becky and Charlotte carried Ronda Rousey in that main event of WrestleMania. If it wasn't for them two, that would have been one of the worst main events of WrestleMania history.
So what you're saying is WWE tricked us into thinking that Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks, was actually good?
Yes. Okay, see,
Okay.
WWE has the greatest ability to do what?
Put people over and make you relevant.
No, copy and paste. If you go, example, let's look at Selena Vega when she had that run against Rhea up at Backlash last year.
Okay.
Go look at her mannerisms, look at her ring attire, look at her ring set, look at how she delivered promos, look at everything. Look at how she was presented to you. Tell me who that reminds you of.
You son of a gun. Yeah, that's essentially Sasha Banks 2.0.
Look at Tiffany Stratton. You know I'm a Tiffany Stratton fan.
Yeah, Tiffy time.
Who else reminds you of Tiffy Time that is now no longer working for WWE?
Mandy Rose.
Like, do I really need to keep going on and on with this? Here's the reason why Roman Reigns' character worked so well. Because it was like something that we've never seen. It was new. It was fresh. It was original. Guys that are really, really over now are guys that have characters that we can look at and be like, man, well, I've never seen this before. Seth Rollins. His gimmick is unlike anything that we've seen. Of course, there's going to be some Brian Pillman inspirations in there here and there. That's natural. When you look up to somebody, that's what you're going to do. You're going to use some of what you've seen in those that you've idolized in your stuff and make it your own. But historically, WWE just copies and pastes and recreates the legends from yesterday today.
But just give them a modern day twist.
Exactly. So this is why I say that Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, whatever you want to call her, as far as wrestling goes, in my honest opinion, she's a little bit overhyped. Because right now, she's in AEW, she went to New Japan, and she tried to use the same gimmick that WWE gave her, and it is not working, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What needles is she moving? What ratings is she bringing in?
Not really. She's more so just, I'd say, she's continuing to keep the heat off of past victories. Not necessarily,
Thank you.
anything recent. If you realistically look at what contributions in the last maybe 2 years as it pertains to wrestling, it's been nothing but hype.
Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, she will be a WWE Hall of Famer. I will admit that on this show that she will be a WWE Hall of Famer. But she will be one of the ones who was literally booked into the Hall of Fame her entire career. Because everybody that you put her in the ring with, that she had historic moments with, those were people who actually worked in order to become the Hall of Famers of tomorrow that they will be eventually.
You're not wrong. That really, honestly, even you breaking it down like that makes me look at her in a whole different light. Because, that's really, essentially what you're saying is she's manufactured.
Yes. And here's a truth bomb. Most of the characters, most of the wrestlers in WWE that we know and love so well are all manufactured. It's a reason why they call WWE the Machine. This was one of the biggest advantages that AEW had that they've somehow seemed to gotten away from, was the fact that they created new characters, new gimmicks. Did they bring guys up from the indies? Absolutely. But the thing about that was, you're bringing guys up from the indies with new out-of-the-box characters and out-of-the-box gimmicks and stuff that a lot of mainstream casual wrestling fans haven't seen. That's why it stuck so well. So now they're in the predicament they're in is because they got away from what they were cooking and tried to copy someone else's recipe.
Yeah, because that's why, you have a lot of former WWE talent, but a lot of it's not really working because you're trying to make them be WWE in AEW.
Exactly. And it's not working.
Instead of the organic people that AEW was essentially manufacturing. When you have Penta, when you have Hangman Adam Page, when you brought over the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega.
I'm about to say something that during all of our conversations you've never heard me say. Here's the truth of the matter. There are fans that are probably up in arms and don't like the fact that WWE didn't sign particular guys like Kenny Omega, like Will Ospreay, like Young Bucks. The truth of the matter is, WWE did the right thing by signing those guys. By not signing them, I mean. Because if they would have signed them, they would have crippled them. Those guys are too good to be a part of the WWE system. They're too original. WWE cannot handle originality at that level.
They have to be in control of it. They need to be.
Exactly. Why do you think Vince put that edict out a long time ago before he left down to NXT that he did not want any more veteran talent? He wanted newer guys who were inexperienced that they can mold into their image and their likeness. You're not going to bring a veteran in like Will Ospreay and put him in the WWE system and expect to have the next Seth Rollins 2.0. It's not going to happen. He's too good for that. He's too talented for that. And when you put him in that creative box, you're gonna hamper him. The best example would be Dean Ambrose versus Jon Moxley. Because I don't care what anyone says, Jon Moxley could never be at the level right now in his career if he was still in WWE as Dean Ambrose. It wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, because of he
wouldn't have been able to expand his character that much.
Yeah. His wrestling style, his gimmick, his mindset, his attitude, all of that would have been hampered. All of that would have been hampered and honestly lost in a faction.
Yep. Or it would have been oh boy. It would have been swallowed up. Pause.
What?
It would have been lost and also trying to force him into a role to fill a void. I.e., okay, well, we need to create we need to build up a heel right now, so we're gonna turn you heel. But we're gonna make sure that you can't do any of the things that make you you, because the character that we're trying to create, that doesn't coincide. So you can't be crazy. You can't be unhinged. You can't be extreme. We need you to be a cowardly heel.
Kind of similar to what WWE is doing right now with Drew McIntyre. Because the Drew that we saw of old was somebody who had a lot of strength, but the thing that made you like him, the thing that made you draw to him was his overall character.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, the Claymore kicking somebody in the face is always, that's chef's kiss.
Hey, I'm just saying, you can never go wrong with kicking somebody in the face.
Exactly. A running drop kick, that's beautiful stuff, sir.
Love it.
Yeah. But now, because of, like you said, the need that they have, they make him a heel to go essentially against CM Punk, but still perpetuate and push his story, but as what they've made him, not as who he came back to be. Because as you remember, when he came back to WWE, especially after his, I don't want to call it a glow up, but I mean, my man changed workout regimen, mindset, everything, and came back and was dominant.
Yeah. Now, you said some of your video that you dropped today about WWE being the greatest magician with smoke and mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
WWE is one of those companies that you love to hate, but hate to love. Because everything what you're saying with Drew right now and CM Punk could be true, but there could also be another hidden layer to it.
What do you mean?
What if this is also a setup for an ultimate double turn? You use CM Punk to fully convert heel Drew Drew heel, only for Drew to reach the pinnacle of being heel, and then to turn because you realize that CM Punk was really manipulating his own heel turn all along.
So pretty much making him the good guy, which is pretty much making CM Punk the good guy, but the ultimate villain, because he pulled all of the strings to move the puppet.
Making Drew the new top babyface, or one of the top babyfaces, while making CM Punk now the top heel. Because see, the interesting dichotomy that you find yourself in on Raw with the whole Drew, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins thing, you got like 3 different archetypes of characters there. Heel, tweener, face. And the crazy part about it is, the archetype can rotate between any one of those 3 at any given time.
Depending on what you need.
What you need and where they're at.
Because if they're in Chicago,
CM Punk is a babyface all day.
And then you could put, I'm gonna be honest with you, Seth, you can make him a tweener anywhere.
Exactly.
Depending on the need, you could make him go full heel.
But when they go to Clash at the Castle in June, sir, Drew McIntyre will be the Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
You can interchange what you need depending on the market that you're playing for.
Hey, just know you heard it here first on WrestleHolics Roll Up. Please understand, Drew McIntyre is winning at Clash at the Castle.
Oh, absolutely. There's no other option for that.
Yeah. Interesting. So, moving forward, I want to ask you, are you disappointed that Liv Morgan essentially died on Raw?
Why do you think she died?
Well, if her whole big gimmick with her returning back, injuring Rhea, was to, push the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm probably one of the world's smallest Liv Morgan fans. I'm not impressed with her, but
that's because you weren't there in the trenches with her when she was part of Riot Squad with her, Ruby Riott, who was not Ruby Soho, and Sarah Logan, who was not for Holla. So you weren't there in the trenches with them when there were less than mid-carders, honestly, in that faction. All of them have grown. But go ahead.
No, I want to know your opinion. I mean, because for me, I feel like it's just desserts for me. It's like,
okay,
that's good stuff.
So because she didn't win the War Rumble, the Battle Royal, presumably, you're taking the stance that she died, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. I'm good.
Sir, let me ask you a question.
Talk to me.
All right. You ever been to a concert?
No.
Do you know people who have been to concerts? Concerts usually do what? They tour, right? When have you ever seen any band or musician advertise a tour and they only play in 2 cities?
Never.
A tour is comprised of multiple dates, multiple shows, multiple performances. It's not just one and done. See, if we're gonna label this the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour, it's not gonna be overnight. We gotta let it cook. Let it play out. It's gonna be about a 3, maybe 4 month tour. Because remember, it just started back in the Royal Rumble when she came back. And then February was kind of a light month. March, kind of a light month. April, you got busy with WrestleMania a little bit. She mixed it up with Rhea. The tour is just now getting started. And ironically enough, sometimes WWE, they get lucky as crap.
Well, I mean, I get it, but she was out with injury. Because remember,
I know
Rhea injured her.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is why when she kept the promo that she cut on Raw about she doesn't understand why everyone is looking at her like she's the bad guy, there was some truth in that. Because the truth of the matter is, I don't understand how we just flipped it and forgot that. See, this is my problem with people who write scripts sometimes for the wrestlers to give promos in World Wrestling Entertainment. You have Rhea Ripley out here playing the victim because she got jumped, but you got what you did to somebody else. How many people did Rhea jump and take out? Liv, Raquel. Am I missing somebody? I think I'm missing somebody too.
Yeah. I mean,
So now it's a problem when Mummy get beat on.
That's right. Nobody beats on Mommy.
Liv beat Mummy.
Yeah.
Like the hypocrisy. And then that kind of stuff damages the character. I don't know. Are you a face? Are you a heel? Are you a tweener? Like, what are we doing now? Because now you're floating in that purgatory water where your character is going undefined. And the only thing that we know is that we like to see you. Okay, we like the stink faces from the live events that you put on your Instagram. Okay, the crazy sexy goth chick stuff that works.
Yes, yeah, that does work.
But
that's good stuff.
But this thing with Liv, it has to play out.
I mean, put it on live. I'll tear it up right now.
Hey, yo, okay. But like I was saying, the thing with, and this is why I said they got lucky, because now with Rhea being out for at least 5 months, what's around about 5 months from now? What are we in? April?
Yep.
So we got April. And granted, she was probably injured back in March. All right. So she definitely worked through WrestleMania injured, because go back and look, she had that cast on the hand leading up to her match.
Yep.
So you got April, you got May, you got June, July. What's after July?
August.
What's in August?
SummerSlam.
So it's possible that the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour can either conclude in SummerSlam, or we can get ready to see the second act of the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. Because one or two things can happen. Either she can win the title at SummerSlam, or we can see the foundation being laid for her to go and win the Royal Rumble to challenge for the title at WrestleMania.
Which then, especially with all of the stuff going on with the Judgment Day, that I almost hit you. That frees up Rhea to either turn or take on a whole new level of character.
In my opinion, I think by the time Rhea gets back, the Judgment Day will be no more. We've seen the seed. Is that in our next block? Oh, it is in our next block.
It actually is.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. We've already seen the seeds being planted. Matter of fact, we saw the seeds of the Judgment Day being disseminated all the way going back to Backlash. Remember the thing with Bad Bunny and Damian Priest?
Yeah.
Because he was kind of like treading that murky, like, is he a face now? And then they kind of pulled back off of it. So now with what we're seeing, right? With what just happened Monday, the whole incident, Rhea's out now. So essentially he's the quote unquote leader now, right?
Yeah.
So you saw him go off on Dom. You saw him go off on JD. Where's Finn? Did you see Finn Monday night? I didn't see Finn Monday night.
No, because what was it? The week prior, Finn lost to
Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Dom is hurt, apparently.
Yep. So that leaves JD.
Because remember, he said, I don't need y'all. Y'all need me. The Judgment Day has essentially been, in my opinion, the purpose of that group was lost initially when Edge left. They kind of floundered around, and then they looked into where they're at now when they added Rhea. Then I think it's somewhere along the line when they added Dominate. Okay, well, now the purpose of this group is to prop up Dom and get him strong enough to actually cut his chops. He should have went to NXT, but that's a whole other different story.
That's fine. So I guess the real question would be is, will Damian Priest cast judgment soon as it pertains to the Judgment Day?
I absolutely believe so, and I believe the first domino to fall is going to be JD McDonough. Because you got Backlash coming up Saturday, right? Not this Saturday, I think it's next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
So May 4th. So you got May, you got June, all right, which is Clash at the Castle.
Finn costs him the belt. Or Finn does something.
It's either going to be, I think it's going to be JD. I
feel like if I had to book it, I would say, yeah, JD's next. He gets excommunicado, then, which causes the rift between Damian
and Finn. And then that puts Dom in a weird place. Side note, I think one thing that we have to see during this 5-month period of Rhea being gone on the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour, we got to see Liv. We got to see Liv with Dom. We got to see it. Not Liv hurt Dom, but Liv manipulate Dom. We got to see the characters interact in some type of relationship of a romantic nature, just to put salt in the wound.
Even if it's not that, there's got to be. She has to show a different side, more or less than anything. That's it.
She's got to be able to show that she has the ability to tap into that Rhea energy, and that will mess with Dom's head.
No, not even that. Be different.
You're cooking over there. I see it.
It is, sir. Think about it. The big thing that Rhea has is that she's in charge. Okay. She's dominant. Hold on. If Liv comes and submits to Dom to let him be in charge, to allow her to follow him instead of Rhea leading Dom.
So you mean that we can let... You mean to tell me that Dom has a chance to be Daddy Dom? Pause.
That's a wild statement, but yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's wild.
Yo.
And then so what that'll do then, it'll push Dom from Dirty Dom to Daddy Dom, which then gives him a more dominant character, which then gives him the eye candy of Live With Him, which will shift everybody's opinion about him.
Makes him more believable, more serious.
Because think about it now. I don't know if you've seen it. Did you see the last match that he had with Andrade? Dom put on a very good match.
Oh, absolutely.
Back in the day, the biggest knock on Dom was his in-ring ability, and he wasn't believable.
And truth be told, that really shouldn't have been a knock because we act like we didn't see what he did when he was tagging with his dad.
Exactly. But you understand how the mindset of wrestling fans. If it's not what we want, we push it away.
Yep.
We dislike it. It doesn't fit the mold that we want to see.
Absolutely.
Because why? Think about it. The main reason why we didn't like Dom with Rhea.
It looked weird.
Exactly. Because why is Rhea always protecting you? Why is Rhea always doing something? Why are you always calling her mommy?
Rhea was looking like a dominatrix for a moment.
Seriously.
For real.
That's good though. That's good.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
So moving forward, we have to give flowers to
Whoop that Trick. Yeah.
Mr. Trick Williams.
Uh-huh.
Trick Williams winning.
I like it.
The NXT Championship.
Old Trick.
I think that's wonderful.
Hey, look, that was a feel-good story. Like, man, this week, like, if you're like one of those sappy wrestling fans, this has been like the perfect week for you.
Oh, absolutely. This was payoff right here.
So now Trick is the man at NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Trick is now him.
Mm-hmm.
So we know in typical fashion, when a long-reigning NXT champion drops the championship around SummerSlam, Draft, or WrestleMania, or Royal Rumble, we know what's happening. Ilya is coming to the main roster.
And not just Ilya.
Ooh,
Braun Breaker.
he's already up there.
I know, but here's the thing. Yes, he signed the contract. Yes, he had a couple matches, but he was just there. Him and Dragunov are gonna be features. Watch. Hey,
So
remember
wait.
I told you.
So are you trying to project that they're pretty much that Braun will be the equivalent of Dragunov just on the opposite show? And when I say equivalent, I don't mean like character for character, but I mean more like prototype for prototype.
Yes, they're both gonna be dominant, fast moving,
hard hitting.
Yeah. They are. Think about it like this. Two sides of a coin. When you think about it, yes, they both are wrestlers. They're both on WWE.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to be on different brands following the same trajectory. They're going to get squashed in a feud. Then they're going to catch.
Sir.
The same way that they did with LA Knight. Think about it.
Wait a minute. So are you telling me that we're potentially looking at a future WrestleMania match, maybe like 2 years in the making?
Yes.
Keep the two titans away from each other till it's the perfect time?
Absolutely.
Godzilla, King Kong?
Mm-hmm.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. I need a lot of people to understand and realize something, okay? I understand if you came from the Goldberg era and the Brock Lesnar era. I get that. I was there with you too. But please do not mistake Braun Breaker for being an equivalent of Goldberg or Brock Lesnar, okay? Because the common knock on both of them were that they couldn't technically wrestle, which is why all their matches typically lasted under 5 minutes. If you're not familiar with Braun Breaker in NXT, you need to go familiarize yourself with that man, okay? That man can go bell to bell. Ask Carmelo Hayes. Ask Dragunov.
Yeah, we are gonna get the hybrid version of Goldberg and Brock Lesnar
Combined.
Yeah.
Like that boy he can wrestle. It's nothing for him to actually go a 10, 15, 20 minute match and look good the entire time doing it. Pause.
Yeah, absolutely. The same thing that we're gonna get out of Dragunov.
But see, the only reason why I said that is because the way that we're presenting Braun Breaker right now, all his matches are like less than 3 minutes. And I don't like that. Like, I understand you want to showcase his power. Cool, I get that. Hurry up and get him in some feuds where he actually has to wrestle. Stop just giving him matches to put him on TV to get so he can be in people's forefront of their mind.
Well, I think they're gonna remedy that. He's gonna debut. He'll probably get in a feud, and again, it's gonna be in typical fashion. He's gonna try to go up against somebody that he's not ready for.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you one thing. Braun Breaker needs to have his first feud immediately after Backlash.
Oh yeah.
Like, he has to have a headlining feud going into SummerSlam to be featured.
Yeah.
It don't gotta be for a title, but it has to be a serious, meaningful feud for him going into SummerSlam that has a match on that card for him to be featured.
And I think they will. Even if he's in the middle of the premium live event, that's fine. Just make it matter.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
All right. Oh, dang. Well, we're rolling. We done went through 2 blocks in one segment.
Yes.
So we are at our conclusion. And for you, my esteemed AEW analyst who's been treading my territories covering WWE as of late, like, we just switch roles. You're the AEW guy. I'm the WWE guy.
I know.
But I guess being opposite gives fair coverage.
Absolutely.
So, your boy, Mr. TK, took a Meltzer driver last night.
Hey, look, I love it. I absolutely love the involvement with Tony Khan because, thankfully, it gives us a different way of viewing him, because thinking about it from a fan perspective, we always looked at Tony Khan as this, weird little guy who was in charge and who gave us some very interesting bookings. But now, him actually, dare I say, going against the societal norm of his position that he's had for the last 4 years, him mixing it up with the EVPs, him actually being, somebody that we could actually start to get to know. Him trying to, I hate to put it this way, but honestly, him actually trying to embody some of that Vince McMahon, being a touchable, tangible person, aside from just somebody who we see on the big screen.
Wait a minute, you said embody Vince McMahon.
Embodying Vince McMahon.
Sir, first off, we got to talk about which Vince McMahon we're talking about embodying, because right now it's a couple of different versions, one of which I don't think nobody wants to embody. I'm just saying, that's that boy on some wild stuff.
Yes, but when I say embodying Vince McMahon, I look at it from a standpoint of being, involved, but involved in a good way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The vignettes and promos that we've seen that included Vince McMahon, whether it be in the ring, whether it be backstage, there are numerous ones that come to your mind when it comes to Vince McMahon being involved in a story. Mm-hmm. So now, Tony Khan being involved in the story with the Young Bucks as the EVPs, now that he has a figurehead, now that he has a figurehead to essentially be the authority, he can now placate to the fans. He's going to gain the hearts of people. Because the EVPs are going to look like the bad guys. Not Tony Khan. Tony Khan is going to look like the guy that's pushing for change.
Whoa. So wait a minute. What you're telling me is that in a kind of roundabout way, is it possible that Tony Khan is about to give us some classic WWE Attitude Era booking, but from a completely different perspective?
Yes.
So instead of face Stone Cold Steve Austin and heel Boss, you got heel wrestlers that want to beat up the face Boss.
Yes.
So are we marrying the idea of Attitude Era Vince and the WCW NWO and just completely flipping the concepts on both?
Yeah, absolutely. And,
oh man.
But hold on, you know what's going to be the Yeah. But even when you take
That's how you save your company.
absolutely, and then think
Originality.
but then you also have to keep in mind, who is Tony Khan gonna elicit and enlist to protect him?
A bang, bang, bang. Guns.
Nope.
Oh, would have been nice. Who?
Who is the essential babyface of AEW?
Eddie Kingston. I'm playing.
Mm-mm.
Kenny
It's either-
Omega.
It's
Who?
It's gonna go.
I was serious when I said Kenny Omega.
It's gonna go one of two ways. Hangman Page.
Where is Hangman?
Exactly. Or your favorite scumbag is gonna come back and save the day.
Sammy Guevara?
Nope.
Who?
MJF. Think about it. Even if you no, sir, if the EVPs, hold on, if the EVPs take over with the Elite,
Okay.
Tony Khan is in trouble.
Okay.
He brings his four pillars together to save AEW.
Jack Perry was one of the four pillars.
I know. Why do you think he brought him back? Because he sees where things are going.
So
he
a betrayal.
And he's thinking, things are getting out of hand. I can't control this. I need people I can depend on. Who can you depend on more than the people you started the company with and for?
Sir, it is so many different inspirational storylines right now that are coming through my mind. You got the bloodline. You got inspiration from the bloodline that he can draw from with this. You got invasion angle that he could draw from with this. We already said NWO. You got NWO Wolfpack. Like, oh my God. This has potential to be some great television.
Absolutely. Think about it. The EVP's running them up with Okada. I know you're not a fan of him, but think about it.
I mean, it's not that I'm not a fan of him. It's just, again, I don't follow Japan Pro Wrestling.
I know, but even so, the EVPs, the Young Bucks, Okada, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, if they are essentially disrupting the normal flow, Tony Khan is pleading and doing everything that he can to essentially save it and try to get everything back on track. He has to call in some help. From a fan standpoint, the fans love MJF.
Oh, absolutely.
The fans, if you give, I tell you what, you let something happen and Hangman Page's music hit, crowd gonna go crazy.
Man, it's gonna be bonkers.
I'm telling you, it's perfect.
Sir, that would be AEW Pop of the Year.
Yes.
I think the only pop that would come close to that would be a CM Punk returning in Chicago pop.
Yeah. And then you sprinkle the man that is the person that's a made man now in Darby Allin. Dog, that right there has the potential to carry AEW for the next year. Solid.
Or you could just always have Ray Phoenix.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's Ray Phoenix versus the world, baby.
Ray Phoenix versus everybody. There is no...
That should be a video game. No, you think Rock the final boss. You ain't seen Ray Phoenix.
No.
But man, that would be great television.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we want to thank you for tuning in with us. My name is Wanye Picante.
I'm your boy Ramon.
If you haven't already liked and shared this live, please like and share this live so that way we can get this wonderful conversation, dialogue, diatribe between your two favorite wrestling commentators.
And remember, here at Wrestleholics, we're not just same old wrestling news. We're actually wrestling talk, okay? Wrestleholics, well, wrestling is talk. And talk is wrestling. All right, till next time. Oh, YouTube, Wrestleholics ENT YouTube, plenty of new content out over there. Channel going on fire right now, so be sure to go over there, check it out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram is Wrestleholics Media, Facebook, YouTube. Man, look, you know where to find us. If you go search Wrestleholics on any platform and we pop up, follow. All right. Until next time, we out. Peace.